Hello, it's my week 13 um, results here. I had one day, I think it was last week, where I didn't say what the results were. It was incorrect, so just kind of letting you know it was the last one. And again, I've been on this kick of just not getting any of them right, and I feel like this week I discovered the reason because I feel like I got some type of information, uh, despite the fact that my experiments have been failing. Uh, as far as I haven't had much accuracy with this. Um, on the 21st, I was visualizing a right foot. Um, I think it was a left knee, and I had this message in there like discover the feeling place um, of your meditations. Like a lot of times when I'm doing a meditation, it's more visual, and I'm trying to make sure my mind is blank, um, and I'm trying to visualize things and trying to do things the same way. But I'm paying very little attention to how I feel, um, while I'm in these meditative states. And that was the first message that I felt like I got. I wrote that down. And sorry. The second day, the 22nd, I pulled out like this what we use, a coil, which is like the antenna on the MRI machine to scan the neck area. But when I was, and it's weird because my visualizations of the exercise have changed dramatically, and it actually the visualization has become my work, and I'm actually going into the room and pulling out a coil, how I normally would, and but the only difference is that on the wall there was like a picture of a person. So I pulled out this particular coil, the antenna, and but when I was pointing at what body part I would use, it was almost like checking myself. I pointed at the right shoulder. So I was kind of confused on what body part I was actually going to scan. Sometimes you can scan a brachial plexus, which kind of is the neck and the shoulder, which I thought maybe that's what it was. But again, that was incorrect. I scanned, the lumbar spine, lower back. 23rd, I was pointing at the lumbar, and then moved up to the head, and then the finger just stayed on the head. And I don't know if I pulled out a particular coil or anything, but I know that in the room, I was pointing on the map that where I was going to scan, and that was incorrect. It was the knee that I scanned. Um, but I do remember on that particular exercise, and again, paying attention to the message that I got in the beginning of this week here. I remembered that I briefly took out the extremity coil, which is what you would use for the knee, and immediately doubted it, and kind of washed it away. And so I am doing these exercises with this feeling of self-doubt, and I think that is what it's been trying to point out for me, is that I am in this feeling state of doubt, and in this state, um, I can't get accurate information because I am such a mismatch for where I'm trying to draw the information from. At least that's the way I'm getting it right now. I'll elaborate on that in just a minute. On the 24th, I was trying to do some exercises to like release some of the doubt, because on that day I did notice that I am having this emotional response to this exercise. And so there's several ways you can change your emotional response um, to pretty much anything that you are interacting with. Um, it does take time though. It's not like sometimes you can change something immediately. It can be if you're kind of on the brink of something, you can change an emotional response very quickly. But most of the time, it takes some work and it takes some time. So on this particular day, before I went into the meditation, I actually started to release some emotional bubbles, is what I call this. This is something that Monroe had on one of his exercises. Many other people have different ones. There's the EFT, where you use which I really do like on some of that, where you can release some of the emotional response. There is also like the focus wheels. I really like doing that as well. But the key is when you're doing it, is you must feel a change. You must feel something positive. If you're not feeling something positive, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you're not really getting anywhere. So it doesn't matter what you're saying. Like a lot of times, like if I'm doing EFT, people think that it is the meridian points, that are doing the work, and it might feel, I guess, okay doing that. But what really gets to you is when you begin to just do it and say something um, that gives you an emotional lift. And then you kind of milk that, and you start to kind of really milk it. And it's kind of like what Abraham Hicks calls like a rampage, and a rampage of appreciation or something. And what you're doing is you're just kind of ramping that emotion up a little bit. And then now you're at a different level. If you do kind of milk that, you're at a different level. So then now you gotta, when you're doing your little exercise, if you're doing EFT, or again, if you're doing a focus wheel, if you're visualizing something, you're gonna have to do something a little bit different to get that emotional response and lift you up a little bit higher and lift you up a little bit higher. And that's the thing, you're just trying to work that emotion up a little bit, and you usually have to change things up a little bit. So sometimes doing different things, like the focus wheel, or a EFT, or you know uh, visualization, things like that. Changing it up will help you to just kind of lift it up, lift it up, lift it up, lift it up. This particular day, I was doing what Monroe did, and it was emotional bubbles, and trying to release the uncertainty, trying to just watch. I would take the emotion, I would feel how I was feeling, like just kind of uncertain about it, and the uncertainty of that, and I would just kind of imagine myself putting it in a bubble and watching it float up into the air, and just saying that I release it, I let it go. And you do feel a little bit of a release from that. So then I was visualizing, I pulled out the extremity coil, or actually I think I visualized the extremity coil, which you can use for a couple different things. You can use it for an ankle, but usually you don't. You can use it for a knee, you can use it for an elbow, a wrist, hand. So I saw that, and it was on the left ankle area, and so I wasn't sure if I was going to do an ankle. Then when I went to the man, well, again, it's not a man. It's just a like a poster of a person. When I asked to point to the body part, it pointed at the left hand. So just very off. It was the left knee. I did have to pull out that extremity coil, but again, not really getting real accurate with that. The weekend I was just kind of relaxing, wasn't really doing too much. I probably should have worked on releasing some uncertainty. I did work a little bit on that on Sunday. Today I was visualizing the left knee, and it was incorrect. It was the lower back, again, the lumbar. But I felt better about doing it. It was one of those things where I just started to say, I'm gonna, you know, how do I say this? It's like I am certain about what I'm seeing. There's no way I can be certain that the data is correct until I go check it. But there's no sense in there's no point in feeling bad about it beforehand. Having this uncertainty feeling, all this this feeling of negativity. And so I'm getting at a better feeling place when I'm doing the exercise emotionally. And it is, again, almost like a law of attraction. If you can, in theory, and then again, this is just what I'm getting from how through this week. It's like an idea that's been brought to me. If I can improve that feeling to a place of just, really getting excited about, doing the exercise. I don't know if excitement is the right word, but just really confident and, about what I'm seeing. Because, if I can just be general about it, there's no one that can be more certain about what I am visualizing than myself. So there's no point in being uncertain about that. I'm looking at it. I'm as certain as anybody else is going to be. I'm the most certain person that you can be. So you have to have that level of feeling about it. And then the data just, will be what it is. But, again, you have to get to a place where you just refuse to feel bad. Just if for no other reason, it's just very unproductive for yourself. And so that's pretty much about it. That's where I'm at as far as where I need to work at is how I feel. Is that I just need to work on my emotions right now, and that will naturally end up working out for me as I do that. So, we'll see how it continues to work over the next few weeks if that is the answer. So we'll see. Anyway, it's a little bit longer than I expected it to be, but thank you very much for watching, and take care.